Victory has defeated you.
Hey Rick, check your phone, my brother. No, it's no. I asked you to read what I said, and then you could continue with your lies. Yeah, I have to question because niggas be doing clickbait. So I'm listen. I'm not somebody that's gonna push a narrative just because I'm like aha. I'm like no, is this legit? I don't want the show to be like, oh we have fake news. Nah, I'm not. Nah.
No, I don't think that's true. Because they tried to say Blade was canceled. What's the other games?
Blade ain't canceled. Blade got Marvel
Yeah, that's what I'm
behind.
saying. That could the reset area tried to say that they was just naming shit. So
On that
I
Blade
don't
got
think
that
that's true.
contract. They got a contract with Blade. They can't cancel that. Yeah, that Marvel deal.
We might get Wolverine.
I don't know. What PC? Xbox? You know.
Well, I'm just saying, Xbox is making a strong case to present to Disney, like, look, we giving all our shit to everybody, so why can't we have it? You own the IP.
Hmm.
What are you talking about? My mic is muted. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it wasn't muted, Pastor. He's right. It wasn't muted.
No, I have like no, I had to mute it on my end. It wasn't me. What are you talking about?
No, that's why I was saying something. I'm not trying to jump on your back. Pause, but it did seem like it was coming from your mic, brother.
Yeah, I have my mic muted, so it wasn't me. This time wasn't me. All right.
All right, so let's start this off with some college basketball. It's been teased by EA Sports. They posted the teaser 2 days ago on social media with the caption, "Bring the madness, let's run it back." Not much information has been released at this time. How do you guys feel about the possibility of college basketball coming back? How do
Man, I
y'all
love it.
feel?
It's
I love
about
it.
damn time. It's about damn time.
I'll wait to see the gameplay before I say anything. I ain't.
No, but I think 2K gonna try it too.
You never
I
played
think we're gonna have two
NCAA
games.
back in Nintendo days? It's fun because there's so many teams and the teams they're not juggernauts. ESPN is promoting gambling.
Yeah,
About that,
I had the same
Brown.
reaction, Rick. Rick, I had the same reaction. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he got a bad reputation. They say he was a diva.
Giving them 30.
Uh-oh. Shit. Oh shit.
Wait,
No,
whoa,
it's not.
whoa.
No.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
hold on. Okay,
No, it's
Rick.
not.
Rick, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Rick, because we ain't have a season since that Zion year where everybody was tuned in. We ain't have a season like that because niggas getting paid now. And the girls are better than the men's right now. But we do still need that basketball game. We do on both sides. On both sides, we need
Yeah,
competition.
I don't know what you talking about. It's
On
a demand for college basketball. I don't know what you talking about.
Mello, would you tell him, bro? Please.
And if EA do it right,
and
they male and female. That's spot on. You gonna cater to both
Spot
parties like
on.
they did.
That shit gonna sell out.
Yo, Rick,
I've been talking
That's
no
a
about
lie,
it.
niggas been
Rick.
mentioning it, bro.
Lie. That's a lie.
oh, hold on. Hey,
No,
Ricky, no.
They want it both.
Hey, Ricky,
They
nobody can
want it
hear you.
both.
No, you can hear everybody else but you.
Uh,
Who is that
it's all
song?
that. It's all
Mello?
that screaming at the beginning.
Yeah, no, that's
So
not
is
what it
Nico
was.
sleep?
That nigga sleep.
Nico sleep already? What?
No, I'm right here, nigga.
You were just
I know
smart.
you here, nigga.
No, I
What you
was.
say?
That wasn't me,
Oh
nigga.
man, good luck, Vaughn, because he couldn't hear me and shit. God damn, I hate Windows. Jesus, man.
It's always every other stream.
Yeah, like it does that. You know, you guys
Ricky
lay
Brown.
off 9,000 people. You figure you can keep the
Hey,
default set.
Ricky Brown. It sounds like a code 17, Ricky Brown.
A code 17. Well, you would know you're what do
Yeah,
you
you
call it?
know the problem. 17 inches from the monitor, bro. Get your stuff together over there, bro.
Well, listen. Since you want to help so much, can you? Whoa, what's going on? What's that breaking up going on over there? Anyway, all right. So now that people can finally hear me, I'm angry. And oh my god, they're telling me to promote products during a live stream. Like Jesus Christ, have you no shame? Suggestions.
Regarding college basketball,
Yeah, let me know. What do
the
you think?
first, the original college basketball games that EA made, them Jerry wasn't very good anyway. All right, they was trash.
whoa,
All
no,
right,
no, no,
Oh,
no,
bro.
no.
they
Don't,
was
Yeah,
don't,
not
don't
buddy.
use
very
my like
good.
that.
All right,
I know what's
they
up,
was
bro.
always using like the
Nigga
NBA
Rose
Live
ain't fighting,
engine for.
man.
They was always using the NBA Live engine from the previous year. Like, I'm hearing is Mello.
All I'm
You might
hearing
want to
is
drop out and come back in.
all I'm hearing
You sound like a telegram.
send that SOS on.
Hold on, Mello. Hold on. Hold on, Mello.
No, because
So what I'm hearing is it
NCAA
was good
yeah,
because you could take your creative character to the better game. That's all I'm hearing from you right there. You ain't say nothing about
It
the
was a college.
gameplay.
no, hold
You
on.
said
Let me
you
get
said I
on the
could
game
What
create
you
my
talking
player
about? It was
and
a
take it
college
over to the
experience.
pro one. Okay,
because
that's what you
It
said.
was a college experience. I'm not finna sit here and say, "Oh my God, the dribble moves was so phenomenal." No, it was the college experience, and then drafting your character over to the NBA. That was the selling point for college. What else you supposed to do with college basketball?
I mean, we talking about college basketball. We ain't talking
I
about
like the fact
college
that you
football or
got
the
so many
that
NBA.
different
last
teams,
year,
teams of balance.
that last year, 2010, they got it right. They had it right. The
Yeah, I don't
presentation
know
was
what
right.
you're talking
The
about.
gameplay was right. They got everything built back up because when EA first got on the 360 and PlayStation 3, they were struggling, but they finally had got it right to 2010 with the basketball side. And then they tried to switch the systems, and then it just went haywire after that. But still, I'm excited for it.
Well,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna cop it. Depends on what the gameplay look like. What it look like.
they ain't got no gameplay. They just got a message saying, "Hey, dummies, pay for this."
Oh no,
Yeah,
no gameplay.
but we
Yeah,
got time though. Because it ain't coming out till
they
2028, so you
they
got
just sent
time.
out a text message, a social media post talking about March. It's time for March Madness. Hashtag CBB, I think,
Yeah,
or CCB.
and you see how they got people excited. He's talking about it. Ain't nobody excited for no college basketball.
Yeah,
All right, so let's go. Let's go on to
whoa, fucking whoa. There's only two of y'all that are excited for this thing. Well, three.
Competition.
Dre,
So
Shaq is kind of on the fence. Mello fucking likes anything with a
I ain't on the
basketball.
fence. I'm all in.
And so Melo's
I'm an NBA
Melo's
Live
view
player.
don't really count on this because he plays all the
I'm all in.
basketball shit. And no, you like anything basketball. It's like me with a
why I gotta-
RPG. It doesn't count. It doesn't count, bro. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. We're not looking.
I should count
We're not.
too.
No, it does not. You're a guy that's gonna buy the shit regardless. We're talking about people like a casual. Nobody's picking that bullshit
my
up.
choice. What?
No,
Casual.
nobody's
Rick,
picking
that shit
it
gonna
up.
sell, Rick.
Man, please. Man,
Did you see college football?
Yeah,
You see what they did?
Okay, how did the last
People
EA
don't buy
college?
college
How
sports.
did the last EA college game go? How did that go?
That was the highest
It
selling
didn't.
game last year.
Outside of the football
No,
game.
not talking about
Outside
football.
of the
About
game.
basketball.
But basketball, no.
I have a
The
suggestion.
last one.
How about you fix the pro games that you're putting out before you start getting into a college game? How about that?
And you know what? They did. I can't even
I
lie.
bet they can't do a pro game. They can't do a pro game with NBA Live because right now, 2K has a
2K got
contract.
that, they got that shit
with
on
NBA
lock, bro.
Live.
Just like EA got the NFL on lock.
Yes, this is their only choice. Thank you. This is the only choice they have in even getting a basketball game.
All right. So check this out. Check this out.
Needed.
I'm gonna.
2K needs some form of competition out here.
Thank you.
They running the streets right now.
All right, I gotta restart. I gotta restart this stream. I'm getting too many errors. Sit tight.